Okay, so we got the fuse mapped. Let's continue on mapping. I'm going to go ahead and do the flying surfaces now. So on this model, there's this outer skin to represent the monocoat, and then there's an internal wing. For this first step here, I'm going to be just concentrating on just doing the outer wing surface. That's where all the artwork's going to be anyways. So I want these to be mapped together. So I'm going to hide the unselected there. Come over to the Modify tab, add an Unwrap UVW, and open up the editor window so we can see what's going on. I'm also going to go to orthographic mode here, and by default this ignore back facing is on. So when I go to polygon mode, if I go to select this here, I should be just selecting what the projection is actually going to see. So, and I'm going to have a bit of a problem here, so I have to just let this poly go with the bottom. Top will be a bit more important. Just need to remove some of these faces that just I don't want for this. And nothing ever moves right for me in here, so you can see I'm twitching around quite a bit, trying to get things to work. Okay. Look at this end. Remove that. Let's look and see what's going on with this. I'm going to deselect these two guys here, and I'll leave that end poly on the aileron. Okay. Now you see that the projection is at a very odd angle. It's not facing straight down onto that, and that's because some of these curved over polys are curved further than that 90 degrees. So what we're going to do is right here where we've been hitting click planar, next to that we're going to hold on to the X, long press, and go to Z. That'll force the projection to be on the Z-axis and not average the position of the normals. So now that we have that, we can hit quick planar map, and we're going to move that out of the zone here. Okay, and then moving on quickly to the other side. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drag across here. A nice quick way to make sure that we're not doing anything wrong is by selecting the bottom here. I'm selecting everything that the projection is actually going to see. As you can see, I've selected some of what's already been mapped. So I'm just going to hold Alt and drag across that and remove it. And I'm also going to come in here for a closer inspection. Make sure that nothing's chosen that I don't want. Okay. And we do want to grab that one at the bottom. Okay, very good. Alright, so Z is still the correct projection for that. And you can see that they're roughly the same size. This is the bottom, so I'm going to hold and long press on this mirror button that's within the edit window. I'm going to mirror that vertically. Okay, we have a few pieces left that still need to be mapped. So I'm going to take this out of Z and back into averaged normals so that you can see it's looking at that a lot better. That projection looks more accurate for what's selected. Okay, and let's use the scale tool and scale this down, place this roughly where it needs to go. Okay, and we're going to grab onto these two polys here, and then there's some down here at the end. Okay, let's let's scroll down here and let's look at some thin map scenes. That's much better. Okay, and let's go ahead and map that. Quick planar map. If you grab onto the center handles here on when you have the multi-tool on, the freeform tool, you'll see that if you turn real close here, you're going to get a lot of movement for just a little bit on the mouse. If you drag way away from it, you can get finer control of it. I don't know if I've mentioned that. This video is an actual redo. I had this video done once, this portion done once, and saved over my project. So I'm redoing this video here. So if I repeat myself, I apologize, and if I forget things that I did in the other one, well, oops. So anyways, let's just grab these last few faces. It's not really revealing where it goes, so oh, there it goes. And one final face right here. It really doesn't want to reveal where it is. I tell you what, it's not that important. This is just a very small portion, and more than likely this is all going to be the same color. If not, you can always come back in and readjust, move parts around, remap parts. The whole idea here is just to get it mapped out. So it's hard to have as much precision the second time around and want to do all the same amount of detail as the first time around. But let me try to even these out. Let's shrink that back down. Yeah, it's more accurate. Let's grab all of these. And just to remind ourselves always what's what, I'll put this close to where they belong, which is right around the outside of the doubler for the wing bolts. Okay, so that has it. Let's check it out with the checker pattern. Drop the checker pattern on it. Deselect so we can take a look. And let's see what's going on here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom extent. Okay, so it looks like we've got a good map. Very good. Okay, I'm going to collapse all. While I'm here, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do that afterwards. Let's unhide everything. I'm going to select the ailer on the other side and the monocoque, and I'm going to delete them. No longer need them. And now I'm going to go to the hierarchy tab, go to use working pivot, activate that, and use the mirror tool and click copy, and here we go. Now we have it copied over. While I'm still here, I'm going to select everything here that we just did, the two wings and the ailerons, select mapped, and add that to that list. And while we're here, let's select these two, and now that they've been mirrored, the pivot has also been mirrored. So now if you see the red axis is now, the x-axis is pointing at each other there. So I'm going to grab both of these and transform. And that's messed up the aileron pivot, and you know, I could show how to fix that, but that's probably, I might do that on the last video. So anyways, that's that there. Now let's rename these while we're here. This is going to be right wing monocoque, so I'm just changing that R, taking the letters off the end. And this will be RMA. So now these are properly named. So that would be it for that. Now I'm going to do the same thing back here. So I'm going to grab onto the elevator and the horizontal stabilizer. I'm going to hide unselected. Back over to modify. Open up unwrap UVW and open the edit window. Okay. Again, click on the top view here and U, and that's going to give us orthographic view. Slide down here. We have the ignore back facing. Make a selection. Let's go to perspective now and inspect it. Do I want this here? No, it's too perpendicular to the projection. So I want to get rid of all this perpendicular stuff. It's just going to be too flat. Okay, that's a little too far. Okay. Now these are perpendicular for sure, but I'm going to leave that trailing edge. And I'll probably leave this entire trailing edge here to go with the top. Okay, and again I'm going to change this to Z just to make that projection map nice and flat. It'll give me a much more accurate projection for sure. And let's put that checker pattern on and see what happened. At first glance it looks really nice, I think. He thinks. Okay, but as you get in close you'll see that no, actually that looks pretty nice all the way around. Yeah, it looks nice. Okay, great. So now I'm going to take this and move this out of that area. And now I'm going to go to bottom, U on the keyboard, and make that selection. You can see that I've selected this, but I've also made selections on what's already mapped. So I'm going to hold the Alt key and get rid of that. Automatically, I'm not going to be remapping anything or moving anything from the original piece. So I'm going to keep walking around this map here, deleting the things out that shouldn't belong. And it gets difficult at times. You just brush over this map here, over the edit window. Your wheel will start rolling and changing the size on that. Okay, we don't want this or that. Okay, so now we get a good projection here. Still in the Z, and that's now the bottom section. Let's mirror that vertically. That'll remind us top, bottom, as if we're looking at the top of the aircraft here, and this is the top of the left stabilizer and elevator. This would be the bottom because it's flipped. Just a great, easy way to remember things. Okay, I'm going to scale this window down a little bit. And now I'm going to select on this back row of polys. Okay, that's that. Good. And quick planar map that. And that belongs. You know what? I'm going to need to change this back to the average normals, and then do it. Now we got some thickness to it. One thing I like to do is make sure that it's roughly the right length for what piece it is, and it is. So we know it's mapped well. Okay. Now we need to go around here and grab all the stuff around the edge that we didn't map on either side. I'm going to go ahead and wrap around. Select that up here. This would be best if first flip it, we go to verts. Okay, great. So this is where this goes. I'm going to just lift that up into place. these guys, where they go here. I'm going to take this and bend it around the corner a little bit, just like you do for a picture frame. And move these into place. Grab these guys. Let's go to this freeform tool. I'm going to match that final angle here, this one here. Close enough. Okay. Now I'm going to just highlight these here and weld them up. Let's go all the way back down here. Let's weld those guys up. Not quite perfect here. Okay, so now we've welded those back on together. Let's go back. Let's grab both of these and we'll map those together. Should be able to just rotate these down. Get these right into place here. And some of this stuff is just tedious. That's all there is to it. So we weld these ones here, and we'll split the difference between these two. And up here we can do these different stitches. There's a stitch to target. We've got two selected. So let's say if I select here, if I stitch to target, it moves all the way over. If I use stitch to average, it's going to go right in the middle. And I can stitch to source. That'll bring the unselected over to mine. And then I have no idea what custom is. Never used it. So I'm going to stitch to average. And slide down to the other end here. And let's stitch to average. Ooh, wrong choice. Let's go back here. There we go. And let's stitch to target on that one. Very good. Go back to grabbing these. And back to edges. Sorry, not edges, vertices. Sometimes I forget. Okay, so those are welded in there. Let's grab these guys now. And that should be it for this guy. So I'm just going to match this angle here, the angle of where it joins up to. Bring it way down. And why not? Why don't we just weld it up? Oh, I forgot we had a double here. This is all messed up. Okay, let's start over here. Let's first locate where it goes. That can be done by going up here to display and show vertex connections. If I select that, it tells me that's that one there, that's that one there, and that one's there. Okay, so let's just take this by sections. Move this section over until 18 and 18 match. Move this selection over. Let's get it nice and close. 11 and 11 will match. Am I missing something? I am. There we go. Now they're all welded up. Okay. And that's it for all of that. So, let's close this up. collapse, yes. Unhide all. It's always good to save every now and then. Just save or Control S on the keyboard. Remember to do that. Now I'm going to select the monocode on this side and the elevator and delete those two. And I'll grab these both. Hierarchy tab, use working pivot, mirror, copy. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to transform those pivots. And let's rename. Move this all the way in here. So it's the RHS monocode. And we need this to be RME. Okay, now let's select everything back again here. Back up, select that mapped selection set and add. Okay, let's go right away into this. Hide unselected. Open that UV editor window. Okay, this time I'm gonna grab all the edges on one side and add it, or all the thin edges that go around here, and add that to just one side of this, and just let those compress. So let me just select these guys here. I'll tell you what, let's select just these guys, and then I'm going to add a new one, or plus a new one in. Let's plus that again. And before we go too far, let's just manually select some of these. That really grabbed around the corner on some of these. Definitely don't want all of that selected. Just trying to add these extra edges in here so we're not singling those out later. So, get all that selected, and this is a little too much. It's all the way around the corner. We don't want that. Very good. Now let's select for the plane to be in the x-axis. And now we'll just click planar. You can see by looking at that, that's the wrong direction. I want that to point the same way. So there we go. Okay. Now we can see we got pretty much everything in one selection. I'm going to hit Control I, and we're still in the X plane for map, and we'll just slide this on up. Let's put this back to back. Okay. Alrighty. So there we go. We got everything all mapped together for this part, for the vertical. Okay, so we can close this down. Da-da-da, unhide. Let's get this canopy in. Yeah, let's hide unselected. First thing let's do with this guy here is I think I'd like to grab just half of him. I'm going to map just half of this guy. So zoom in, make sure we're getting just half. Getting a little more than what I asked for here. Okay, that's good. So, alright, so I'm going to map this half. So I want to delete this half. Very good. I'm going to make sure I'm not selected. And Let's open up that window. Grab all these faces here and make sure I'm in an averaged situation. I'm hoping you're following me here. I'm not mumbling too much. Kind of a mumbler. Alright. And over here into Tools, Relax. Relax by face angle. And then start the relax. And stop the relax after a few seconds. Alright. Now let's square up these edges here. And the reason why we'd square them up is because they're actually squared on the model. These edge loops are nice and vertical as they go along the curve, but they're being curved out in here. You'll see what result you get is you get a curved pattern. It'll pull on whatever you're drawing on here. It'll do the same thing to if you were to want to put words on your canopy or something like that. That'd screw that right up. So let's see how this will straighten things up. First off, let's grab all these guys, go out until this row right here is vertical, which it is. Okay, so now we're going to select just that row and use this little tool here, Align Vertical. Just go through one by one, selecting these, Align Vertical, Align Vertical. Let's go this way. Just keep aligning. That's the very end row, so let's just close them all up. Okay. One last thing we didn't do back here. Square that up. And square it up. Okay, so now you can see that these are much straighter, yet we don't exactly have squares on here. We have kind of triangles, or I'm sorry, rectangles. So I'm going to squeeze this up to be more realistic. Ta-da! Okay. So now we can just take this whole thing, holding control, we'll make it uniform scale. That's very good. So I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to collapse the unwrap modifier. And now I'm going to go here to Symmetry, and I'm going to hit Flip. I'm going to weld at point 0.01. This is the same thing as making a copy. We just made a copy basically. So we're going to collapse. Now if we go back and put yet another unwrap UVW on this and open it up in the edit window, we'll find that they're stacked on top of one another. You can see I've selected everything. Let's go to faces to show you. Okay. Select here, select the islands. You can see there's one side and there's another. So that's a great way to map one half of an object, and then hit Symmetry, and it'll weld together, and it'll make an instant copy. And when you're done, your object is a complete object. Your verts along the seam will be a single vert. It won't be doubled up as if I made a copy. If I mirror copied, I'd have to weld this seam back together. So symmetry is a good way to do that. So let's unhide this, and while we're here, we're going to add that canopy into the map. Okay. Alright, I believe that's where I finished on the first time I did this video, so okay, I'll see you in the next one.